Introduction to New Education Policy. The New Education Policy, NEP, is a comprehensive framework to guide the development of education in India. Key objectives of New Education Policy. Quality education. New education policy aims to ensure high-quality education for all students, focusing on foundational literacy and numeracy. Global integration. It seeks to integrate Indian education with global standards and practices to prepare students for the globalized world. Holistic development. New education policy emphasizes the holistic development of students, including mental, physical, and emotional well-being. 5+3+3+4 system. A new curricular structure corresponding to the ages 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14, and 14 to 18 years respectively, to bring early childhood education under the formal schooling system. Changes in school education. Curriculum reforms. New education policy introduces a more flexible and multidisciplinary curriculum to cater to diverse student interests. Teachers are encouraged to adopt innovative teaching methods to facilitate a better understanding of concepts. Assessment reforms. Changes in assessment systems to focus on comprehensive evaluation rather than rote learning and memorization. Emphasis on formative and competency-based assessments to promote a deeper understanding of subjects. Equitable access. New education policy aims to provide equitable access to education to all students, regardless of socio-economic background or location. Efforts to bridge the urban-rural divide and ensure quality education in remote areas and marginalized communities. Emphasis on early childhood care and education. Universal access. New education policy aims to provide universal access to high-quality early childhood care and education, focusing on the crucial formative years. Integrated ECCE framework. Integration of early childhood care, education, and nutrition to provide a comprehensive approach to child development. Vocational education and skill development. Industry-relevant skills. New education policy emphasizes imparting industry-relevant skills and vocational training to prepare students for varied career paths. Practical learning. Integration of practical learning experiences to equip students with hands-on skills and problem-solving abilities. Use of technology in education. Digital learning. Integration of digital learning platforms and resources to enhance access to quality educational materials. Innovative tools. Utilization of innovative tools like virtual reality and simulations to create engaging learning experiences. Assessment and evaluation reforms. Competency-based assessment. Transition towards competency-based assessment to evaluate students' understanding and practical application of concepts. Feedback mechanisms. Implementation of robust feedback mechanisms to provide insightful feedback and guidance to students. Implementation challenges and way forward. Infrastructure upgradation. Challenges related to ensuring adequate infrastructure and resources for effective implementation of new education policy. Policy awareness. Importance of creating awareness about the new education policy and its objectives among all stakeholders. Stakeholder engagement. Emphasizing the need for active engagement and collaboration with all stakeholders, including parents and communities. Mandatory and optional foreign languages. Preschool to grade 2, foundation stage, mandatory language. For mandatory language, mother tongue, local language, Hindi, Sanskrit, optional language. For optional language, introduction to a national and an international language like English, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, etc., depending on the school's offerings. Grades 3 to 5, preparatory stage, mandatory language. For mandatory language, continued emphasis on mother tongue, local language, optional language. For optional language, an additional national or international, English, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, etc., language. Grades 6 to 8, middle stage, mandatory language. for mandatory language transition phase with a preference for mother tongue local language, but flexibility starts. Optional language, for optional language additional Indian or foreign languages, English, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, etc., adhering to the three-language formula. Three-language formula, aim, to ensure the study of three languages, with at least being Indian languages. The exact languages offered can vary by region and school, providing flexibility and promoting linguistic diversity. Implementation. Schools will continue to follow the three-language formula, which includes the study of three languages in school. Flexibility. The policy ensures flexibility in the choice of languages but mandates that at least two of the three languages should be native to India. Old education policy examination pattern versus new education policy examination pattern. Examination focus. Old policy, emphasis on year-end exams with a significant focus on rote memorization. New education policy 2020, shift towards understanding, critical thinking, and application of knowledge through regular formative assessments for continuous learning. Board exams. Old policy, high-stakes board exams at the end of grades 10 and 12, determining future academic and professional pathways. New Education Policy 2020, board exams to be made easier, focusing on testing core competencies. Option for students to take the exams twice a year to reduce pressure. Assessment approach. Old policy, one-size-fits-all standardized testing approach. New Education Policy 2020, personalized and adaptive testing to cater to individual students' learning pace and style. Evaluation scope. Old policy, primarily quantitative, focusing on marks grades obtained in written exams. New Education Policy 2020, introduction of a 360-degree holistic progress card that assesses students on cognitive, affective, and psychomotor aspects. Continuous assessment. Old policy, limited use of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. New Education Policy 2020, regular formative assessments for a holistic understanding of student progress across the academic year. Skills assessment. Old policy, limited emphasis on skills beyond academic knowledge, such as analytical thinking or creativity. New Education Policy 2020, enhanced focus on critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in assessment patterns. Vocational integration. Old policy, vocational education often seen as separate from mainstream education, with less emphasis in early grades. New Education Policy 2020, vocational education integrated from grade 6 onwards, with assessments including practical, hands-on work, internships, and projects. Implementation. Old policy, implementation varied significantly across states and boards, with a lack of uniformity in assessment standards. New Education Policy 2020 aims for a more unified approach across India while allowing for regional flexibility and innovation in teaching and assessment methods. Changes in higher education. Flexible undergraduate programs, reforms in undergraduate education to provide flexibility for students to choose their subjects and explore interdisciplinary studies. Research and innovation. New Education Policy focuses on enhancing research and innovation in higher education institutions to address global challenges. Teacher training and professional development. Continuous learning, emphasis on continuous professional development for teachers to enhance their teaching methodologies and skills. Educational research, promoting opportunities for educational research and sharing best practices among educators. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel for the next book.